afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. We have invited you here to give you an update in as far as the presidential candidature of President Saviour Kasukuwere is concerned. We have here his lawyer. I know it's being reported that I am the lawyer. I want to clarify it. I am not President Saviour Kasukuwere's lawyer. I am his chief election agent and spokesperson for his presidential campaign. So with me here to my left is Mr. Harrison Komo, and he is the lead lawyer for President Saviour Kasukuwere. He's going to give us a brief outline of what transpired yesterday and what transpired today, the noting of the appeal and what it means. So I'm going to hand over to him.
Thank you very much, Jackie. Just to clarify matters, after the High Court judgment yesterday barring our client from being on the ballot paper for the 2023 presidential elections, we successfully filed an appeal in the Supreme Court this morning under SC 387 of 2023. The net effect of that appeal is to suspend a High Court judgment. What does it mean? What it basically means that his status is reverted back to the time before the litigation by Laptop Bangwana was instituted, meaning that he remains on the ballot. He is a presidential candidate for 2023. I have seen and heard on social media misleading conclusions of the law to the effect that the filed appeal does not suspend that the judgment of the High Court. That is incorrect. That appeal suspends the decision of the High Court, and it entitles President Kasukuwere to remain on the ballot. He is the presidential candidate for 2023 until such time that any court of competent jurisdiction post the Supreme Court has ruled that he is not a presidential candidate. As matters stand, he is a presidential candidate. He remains on the ballot. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Nkomo is not going to be taking any questions. However, we will take questions. Godfrey Senengamu, myself, and Nyaradzi Bwanya, we are going to be taking any questions that you may be having in respect of this matter. You can take your questions. I'll hand over to Godfrey Senengamu. He's going to just give a brief address to you and address the political aspects of this matter.
Thank you so much, Comrade Spokes. Thank you, members of the media. I think, what the Spokes has already said, mine is just to give a view from the political side, because I am the chief convener for Comrade Saviour Kasukuwere as a presidential candidate. So our message is very, very clear that as a people, we have this right to elect a leader of our choice, and that leader happens to be none other than Comrade Saviour Kasukuwere. What we are just currently experiencing is because of elements of cowardice in the current leadership, which is running like a headless chicken, because they are not sure of what's going to happen on the 23rd of August 2023, because they are very much aware that Comrade Kasukuwere enjoys support, even from within ZANU-PF and from without ZANU-PF. The leadership of ZANU-PF doesn't know who to trust anymore. So they think that by cancelling July from the calendar, they would stop a court spell. And this is not going to happen. Comrade Kasukuwere is here. His foot soldiers are on the ground, within and without the party, and we are forging ahead. And we would want to say to the people out there, don't be distracted. Keep focused, continue mobilizing, get to the ground, speak to the people according to the 15 commandments as was laid out by the leadership. So this is where we are. We are mobilizing for Comrade Kasukuwere, and we are not stopping, and nothing is going to stop us. So this is our message to the people of Zimbabwe, that we are not going to stop, and no one is going to ever stop us from voting for Comrade Kasukuwere and from campaigning for him. Thank you.
Questions? Oh, you don't have any questions. All right. His arrival is imminent. I think as of now, we should be expecting him anytime from now. He will definitely be coming in.
So comment, you mentioned that no one's going to stop you from campaigning. Have you been stopped people?
No, I'm just saying there are efforts. Like you can see, this is nothing legal. Fine, the legal team has said, I'm not a legal guru. My field is political. So when we look at issues, we look at them from a political perspective. So for us, this is about people trying to block others from contesting and exercising their political rights. So this is where we stand, that no one has a right to stop anyone from being elected and from being voted for. So that's what I mean.
Okay, what about in terms of campaigning? Would you say that the playing field is level?
No, this is a battle. It's not a stroll in the park. Obviously, we have faced challenges, we are facing challenges, but we soldier on because the people are determined to win this for future generations. So we are not deterred by anything.
Do you see the courts overturning the ruling that has already been made?
All right. Do you want to take that one?
Thank you for the question. The position is that the will of the people of Zimbabwe cannot be contained in any court judgment. The courts do not have the prerogative to choose political leaders for the people of Zimbabwe. There's no court of law anywhere in this country that can stop the people of Zimbabwe from choosing their own leaders. That is the basic principle of self-determination, to be able to choose who we want to lead us. And at the moment, the person we want to lead us is not Mr. Emerson Mnangagwa.
Yeah, but the question is derived from the fact that if the High Court judgment stands, ZEC is unlikely to put Saviour Kasukuwere's name and face on the ballot paper. What then?
Your question is correct. That's what the lawyers have just addressed. That the current position is that ZEC must and is obliged to put his face and name on the ballot paper because the judgment of the High Court is suspended, stands suspended as of today. Once the Supreme Court endorsed that it has received a notice of appeal from President Kasukuwere, the High Court judgment stands sidelined and therefore is of no force and effect until the Supreme Court determines the matter before it.
And okay, further to that, I'd want to say that we believe that President Kasukuwere has got a strong case. It has always been strong from the beginning, which is why we have appealed against the High Court finding, which we found odd and which stands suspended as of now until the Supreme Court makes a decision. Whilst we respect our courts, we believe that if indeed there is fairness and justice in the way this matter is going to be determined, there is no reasonable appellate court which can sustain the finding of the lower court, which is the High Court.
Okay, if your appeal fails at the Superior Court, are we likely going to see you supporting another candidate who is not Kasukuwere?
The president is clearly determined. His position remains that he's attempting to build an inclusive political environment, an inclusive government in the post 23rd of August. So it is very clear that the President Kasukuwere never had any intention of sidelining anyone or any party for that matter. So whether or not the Mnangagwa lawfare succeeds, then we clearly know that in the future there will be efforts to unite the people of Zimbabwe.
Are you likely going to be working with Nelson Chamisa?
We are on civil terms with President Chamisa and his team, but an election is a contest, as my learned friend here, Honorable Tselengam, has said. At the moment, we are competing, and we are competing with the Chamisa and the Triple C. We are competing with them and their fair game. We believe that they should not be hindered from campaigning, and that President Mnangagwa's attempt to stop them from campaigning does not result in a free and fair election. So President Chamisa and his party must be allowed to campaign. President Kasukuwere must be allowed to contest. That is the current position.
Yeah, there is speculation on social media that Kasukuwere is a small stake or percentage of the presidential electorate, and that you would want to bargain that stake. That stake would actually force a runoff, a presidential runoff, and with that stake you would want to bargain with the highest bidder way to go. How would you address those speculations?
It is very simple. You must go to President Mnangagwa's conduct to have an answer for that. The only person that President Mnangagwa is trying to bar from being on that ballot paper is Kasukuwere. He cannot therefore be the one with the smallest percentage. The biggest challenge to the Mnangagwa administration is Saviour Kasukuwere. It is not anyone else on that ballot paper. Mnangagwa is very comfortable having everyone else on that ballot paper. He's only scared of one person. The bravery that President Mnangagwa has shown in the past, saying we are the military, we are the police, we are all of these things that he has said he was, has suddenly vanished when Kasukuwere's face showed up on the ballot paper. He's only one scared of one person, and it is Saviour Kasukuwere.
Yes.
There have been claims from your quarter that the courts are captured. And what are your chances that you continue to pursue the court route when you were discredited as being captured? And also, can you confirm Kasukuwere's link to the military?
We can neither confirm nor deny our principal's links with anyone. We would not be privy to the full details of who he deliberates with and who he does not. And I would like also to state that, as has been already stated, that President Kasukuwere is a formidable challenge for this current regime. And he poses a big threat. Hence, we have seen that since the day he announced his candidature, there have been efforts to try and find legal obstacles for him to be detained or to be stopped from participating in the upcoming elections. As far as your question relates to the judiciary, we have been taken to the courts, and therefore we were obliged to attend and to defend ourselves. We are not the ones who approached the courts. Someone else approached the courts, and as such, we are subject to the judicial system. And since our matter is sub judice, there's also a limit as to what we can or cannot say whilst the matter is still pending at the Supreme Court. So we'd just like to leave it at that. We are going to fight our way through this because we were the ones who were taken to court, and as such, we have to defend ourselves and defend our principal's right to stand as a presidential candidate in this upcoming election.
My son, let's show them